Am I the asshole for refusing to attend my engagement party if my fiance's mother is in attendance? It's not just mother-in-law drama, it's future mother-in-law drama. That's amazing. Also, it's a red flag. My fiance comes from a gymming family, not like rubies or sapphires. They love the gym and fitness and all that. See, told you it wasn't rubies and sapphires. Which is great. He's perfect, and I love how much he likes to work out. I, on the other hand, am not a gym person. I am a curvier girl. Yeah, I'll work out, and I'll go on hikes and runs, but I'm not hitting it like his family. Doesn't mean I'm unhealthy. He loves me as is, and I love him as is. When I met his family, his sisters welcomed me with open arms. I love them like they're my blood. As for his parents, the first thing his dad did was look at my partner and ask if he was serious. My fiance and his sisters went off at their dad for saying that. He tried to write it off as a joke, but we all know what he meant. Anytime I saw his parents, his dad would give me looks and his mother would make snarky comments about my weight and outfits. Add more red flags. She would never do it when my partner or his sisters were around, because they would tell her off for it. My partner proposed and we started planning our wedding. I'm Pakistani, and we traditionally have big weddings, and it's not uncommon for parents to pay for it. So my parents offered to pay for our big Desi wedding. My fiance and his sisters are excited, and since the wedding will be huge, we decided to make the engagement party very small. Well, when his parents heard my parents will be paying for the wedding, and they offered to pay for an engagement party, we refused, they insisted, and now they are. Last night we had a family dinner at his sister's place, and at the dinner, my fiance's mother had made multiple comments about me going on a diet and starting to lose weight before the wedding, and she kept mentioning how she is paying for the engagement party. There's only so much a person can take, so I confronted her about it in front of everyone. I told her that if she can't stand a fat bride-to-be, then she doesn't have to pay for it, and she's uninvited to our engagement party. My fiance intervened and said we can't not invite his mother. She started crying and yelling at how she's already paid for the venue and catering, so she is paying for it and she will be attending. I don't know what venue and catering because nothing was run past my fiance and I to check if we approve. Probably at the gym, and they're probably serving pre-workout. His sisters agreed with me and also berated their mother for her behavior towards me and said that it is fair that she is uninvited. We all went back and forth and I got so sick of it I left. Later, when my fiance came home, he said he understands how hurt I am, but we can't uninvite his mom, especially since she has already planned and paid for everything. I told him then I won't attend, and now he's pissed and told me I'm being immature and a bitch. I can't believe he said that to her. But I stand by what I said. If she can't stand the way I look, then why should she be there? If he wants her there so bad, then I won't go. I won't tolerate being insulted and criticized at my own party. Am I the asshole? I don't know what else to say except no. This is bonkers. Complete bullshittery and assholery. All rolled into one. What a shite person. Mother-in-law and father-in-law. You can have your beliefs. The instant you start forcing them onto another person, you're an asshole. And if their son loves her just the way she is, why the fuck are they getting involved anyway? Why are they trying to change her? It's not like she's marrying into the family business and has to join their circus act. Let's say she continues to hold her ground. Mom gets uninvited. Husband goes through with the wedding but has this grudge that he always holds against her. And by the way, after that, they have to be no contact with mother-in-law and father-in-law for eternity. Or until mother-in-law and father-in-law change their ways, which isn't likely because they're pretty freaking religious with them, from the sounds of it. Let's say OP eventually caves. That's a doomed marriage, right? Either way, I think the mother-in-law and father-in-law have kind of set up a chess game here to where this marriage is going to have serious complications and roadblocks to success no matter what. They have thwarted a happy future for OP and OP's fiance, unless OP's fiance can be won over. The one path to success here exists where OP convinces her fiance to be okay with mom being uninvited and he doesn't hold a grudge afterward. That's the only path to success here. I do not see mother-in-law and father-in-law changing their ways. Am I the asshole for tipping and embarrassing my boomer father-in-law? I worked as a server in university, and my daughter worked at Starbucks and a local restaurant when she was in school. I know how servers earn their money. My father-in-law invited us out for supper for my mother-in-law's birthday. We went to a nice Greek restaurant in his neighborhood. The meal was fantastic, and my father-in-law said it was on him. Cool, my kids are well behaved and know not to go crazy on their grandparents' money. I have known my in-laws for almost 20 years now. I know he doesn't tip, so I always bring cash and tip whenever we dine out with them. So after the meal, as we were leaving, I checked the bill and dropped 20% on top of his cash, more or less. I guess he accidentally left too much money once and made a big deal about getting his change because the server came running out with the tip I left. My father-in-law knew how he paid and it didn't include a $50 bill. He blew his top, saying I disrespected him by doing this. I was implying that he was cheap after he took out my family to a nice restaurant. I was just trying to do right by the server. I wasn't trying to be a hero or a jerk. I just know that we took up a table for almost 2 hours and she deserved a tip. My wife is mad at me for upsetting her father. My daughter gave me a hug and said I was right. Am I the asshole? Edit, I'm in Canada. Apparently this is a normal thing in the States. Okay, well, then my personal experience is going to mean jack squat. I waited tables, my wife waited tables, and I think waiting tables or similar jobs is a wonderful opportunity to learn how to deal with difficult people, to learn how to anticipate needs, to learn how to be quick, to learn how to talk to people, to learn how to deal with difficult situations. There's so much that can be learned in that one job. And I agree, the server needs a tip. This is an episode of Friends, by the way. Rachel's dad gets really offended when Ross leaves a tip on top of his tip and turns it into a huge deal. So I guess the way to look at this is, you're not an asshole for doing it. You apparently just need to be sneakier about how you do it with this guy. Hand the extra tip directly to the server. Do the handshake, cash transfer. I don't know what to tell you about solving the issue of offending him. You kind of just have to eat crow on that one. Why would you eat the crow? The crows have eyes. Don't you dare look them in them. You also had to choose who you were going to be the asshole to. Would you rather be the asshole to the father-in-law, risking him finding out, or be the asshole to the server, who really needs the money? You chose to benefit the server, thus rolling the dice with the father-in-law. And it blew up. So take your licks and move on, I guess. Just be sneakier next time. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my husband's infertile friend name our son? My husband, male 33, best friend, male 37, Will, is infertile. He got divorced 2 times because of it, because he lied and hid his infertility. And his life hasn't been the same since the day he was told he can't have kids. He has always had a soft spot for children. And when he found out that my husband and I were expecting, he was so thrilled and started buying us gifts and decor pieces that he made from his woodwork for the baby. My husband thinks that those are all really nice gestures, but I couldn't help but feel uncomfortable, especially with how much he keeps mentioning the baby. A few days ago, my husband and I found out the gender of our baby. The minute we told Will, he started calling the baby a random name he picked and was going to give to his baby if he wasn't infertile. He then started begging us to use this name, and my husband said it was a done deal. I refused, but my husband called me heartless and asked me to do this one small nice gesture for his struggling friend to give him closure and honor him after all the things he has done for us. I flipped and said it's my baby, not his. Will heard this and left immediately. My husband yelled at me saying it's his baby too, and my behavior towards Will was abhorrent. He left after him and didn't come back till the morning. He kept saying the same thing and pressuring me to agree on the name, but I refused. Am I the asshole for choosing this hill to die on? I don't think your husband is seeing a potential path here where his buddy Will starts acting like your son is his son, because that's what's going to happen. He's got so much of his identity tied to this offspring existing that he's going to try to do it vicariously through your son. That is a potential path. Not saying that that's the way that he's actually going to take this, but husband needs to see that this is a potential path and create some boundaries, right? Meow. Meow. As a parent, that's the first alarm bell that went off for me, and just to protect the child from any crazy shit that could happen, I would create that boundary immediately. And I'd also be afraid. I'd be afraid of what could happen because so much of his identity is tied to this. Number one, if you say no and you create a boundary, is he gonna go crazy and then be even crazier? Then you're in dangerous territory. If you cave on this and let him name the kid's born, He views him as his kid. Things are really awkward there. I don't see anything positive coming from this. Those are two extreme paths, but they're entirely possible. And as a parent, you have to see ahead to where those things can go because you have to be thinking about the safety of your child. Not the asshole, stand your ground, create boundaries now. Am I the asshole for not paying for my daughter's wedding because she invited my brother and his family? I 46 male, my brother 48 male. When I was 20, my then girlfriend cheated with my brother. I was heartbroken and pissed. I told him he is no longer my brother. Despite my request, my family didn't cut him off. So I told them that I will never again be in the same place as he is. If they wish to invite both, then they should just invite him, as I am the one giving ultimate. My daughter is getting married in spring of next year. In our culture, both parents are paying for the wedding, 50-50. Unexpectedly, my daughter sat me down and told me that she will be inviting my brother and his family. He married my cheating ex. Apparently, she was seeing them for the last 4 years and had built a relationship behind my back. She even wants her cousin to be some kind of flower girl. I told her what my boundaries are, and if my brother is invited, then I will not pay my part of the wedding. She became angry and told me it's time to let go of the past. I told her it's not her call to make. We argued some more, and she told me I am making her wedding all about myself. I told her I will probably not even attend, so it will be all about her. She left crying. My ex-wife called me screaming and told me I'm a huge asshole and that her daughter is crushed. Then my parents called. Same thing. I told them off, and now I'm ignoring their calls. My girlfriend told me to reconsider and apologize, that by not paying and attending I will break relationship with my daughter. I don't know. I think my boundaries should be respected. Am I the asshole for that? Dude is 46 years old. My gut says grow up. Let it go. That's what my gut says. I don't know if that's the right answer. No one can tell you how to feel. He feels how he feels. And that's driven him to do some, in my view, asshole-ish things. And here's why I view that this way. There was a chance at every turn to choose to be the bigger man. And he never made that choice. It's hard to respect that. But it shouldn't have been that big of a surprise to the daughter. And the daughter doing what she's done, knowing it was as big of a deal to dad as it was, kind of made the asshole move by instigating it. So he does need to grow up, but in this situation, if his boundaries were known by all parties, then I guess he's not the asshole? Because it's been this way for a long time and they should have known better. Let's just say that overall everyone's an asshole here. Blanket statement. Everyone's an asshole. I think that's the safest thing to do in this situation. Just call everyone an asshole and move on.